Good day, peace, peace. Welcome back to season 3, episode 7 of the Leaders Only Digital Show and Podcast, brought to you here by What It Changed, Mentoring Inc. and Tone Drone TV. I'm your host, it's Kendell.
And I'm Semaj.
And today, man, we have a magnificent show for you today. We also have a special guest today, as you see. We ask that you please invite your friends, family, loved ones, those who are struggling, those who need, those who just want good knowledge, good information, good wisdom, good footage. You know what I'm saying? Just those who just want to be part of something, something that's positive, something that's real motivational, and something that's helpful. We ask that you subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. We ask that you share, like, hit the bell, comment. We also ask that you comment below along the way, and if you miss our show, we ask that you hit pound replay in the comments. You can always follow us like that. I'm gonna pass it off to my brother Semaj.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. As my brother said, we do have a guest host today.
Yes, sir.
And it's Dr. Moore. It's my therapist. He's also a therapist in the DMV, the DC community. So definitely, first and foremost, want to thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
And just welcome you to our platform. And feel free to get loose, relax, just like our sessions, man. Just make it real easy.
Yes, sir. Everything, right off the top, however you feel, whatever you feel, let it go,
Yeah, so getting started, I just want to make it real easy because we don't see a lot of brothers in the therapy field. First and foremost, I mean by male, and then brothers by as in our ethnic background.
Right.
We don't see that a lot. So first and foremost, just want to start off asking when did you start, and when did you become licensed? When did you know that this is something you wanted to do?
Right. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you and how much I really appreciate being here. As I said earlier, this young man here, Brother Callaham, Semaj, I really respect him. I think a lot of him. Oftentimes when he's talking, I'm a Bible man, so oftentimes when he's talking, he doesn't realize how much he is talking Bible. We just got finished talking about the seed, and I know that, within a seed is a seed.
Right.
And the seed is eternal and it's infinite, and so for him to be talking about, cutting the stems off and giving them away, and he knows that they're going to be able to whom he gives it, they'll be able to actually start, and then it's eternal. I'm like, man, you're right down my alley.
Yeah.
You talking Bible, but honestly, how I got into what I do as a therapist, as I was telling someone else earlier, I got interested in ministry. Ministry for me and therapy are married together. In fact, the Bible says that a wonderful counselor in Isaiah, a wonderful counselor, mighty God. So when I heard that and I began to work, I'm like, well, being a counselor is really important. It really has the power to change lives. You speak life. People right now, they feel like they make one mistake, then their life is over. But we're evolving creatures. We can change, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we can change our mind, and our behavior is based upon, how we think. I think, therefore I am. So, how I got into counseling really was about, changing lives, and getting people to understand that, it's not over, and you can begin again, and you can become, and you can grow, and, these are words that, oftentimes people aren't told, that you can begin again, you can start over. It's just a matter of doing it. Yeah. So that's how I got into counseling.
And that's dope because that's one of the that's a big mantra that we speak here. I mean, especially my brother being a returning citizen. But every week we're letting you know that it's a day-by-day process.
That's right.
That's a big reason why we wanted to have Dr. Moore here, because there's a huge stigma on therapy first and foremost. But then, like we were speaking earlier, you got to know what you want. Like the real reason why I wanted to have my therapist up here first and foremost, because when we first started, I wanted to talk about therapy and me being a part of. I never want to speak on something that I'm not willing to walk it to. So I needed it, and I didn't, and I wasn't ashamed of it, you know. But I got to a point where I knew what I wanted from it. Go ahead.
That's good stuff right there. You know, because when people come to therapy, they have to want and know what they want. You know, what I do, and you can attest to this, is because I have my clients text me to send them the link if we're doing virtual, and I do that because I want them to be engaged. I want them to be in control of their own mental health. I don't want to be someone who is calling and chasing them down about their own. Don't want to do that. I want them to be really responsible and to feel that they're getting something out of therapy. So, so, you know, and the second thing to that is you got to know what you want. You know, a lot of people, they don't really know what they want.
Right. Or be forced.
Or
telling them, like, man, you need to get your head checked. You need to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy.
But when you are on your bed at night, what do you think about?
Yeah.
You know, what's the thoughts that's going through your mind? So as a counselor, that's where I want to be.
Right. So, it's funny you say that. So, and I could speak from experience. So, it was probably a year and a half, probably 2 years almost now that I was in that space. You know, nobody forced me to go to therapy.
Right.
It was just an open book for me because of my situation, me coming home, being a research citizen. So it's always a reset. I mean, it's always an asset for you. They always push that.
That's
like,
right.
If you
That's
need
right.
help, go get it. Like, we got it for you. So I looked up and got a counselor the same way as in your manner. She's a female, but she was right there, right? But to go back to what I was about to say was, I got to that point where I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I needed help.
Okay.
I knew I was loved. Yes, I got a big family, big supporting cast, and it's not even a big family, but it's a big family.
With support.
Because the 5 people that's in this circle are big-hearted, like my mom, my brother, my sister, my niece, my dad. That's it.
Okay.
That's all that mattered to me now. So I got to the point where I reached out, and then I got a lot of responses. Not saying I was reaching out to get responses. I was reaching out to tell them I'm ready to go.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
I was at that point.
Okay.
You know, it was hard for me to sleep. It was my relationship wasn't right. I didn't trust nothing besides, you know, like my immediate circle. But the woman I didn't trust, my thoughts I didn't even trust at the time. Even though I was doing everything right, I still didn't trust my judgment at the time. You know, so what really brought me into it was first and foremost I couldn't do it. So that was one. And then much as I tried to say I was going to do it or go through with it, it was impossible. I mean, impossible. But the responses I had in there were some people that just met me, but you know, that knew me, like Judge Faruka, Judge Walton, my brother, my sister, you know, my immediate, and then, you know, waking up the next day, it was all right.
Okay.
You know, because after you reflect on it, it's like, bro, I just really just, you know, should have just went the other way. But at the same time, you never know what you're going to do in that matter.
No, you don't.
Therapy was the best thing for me besides working out. You know, that was the best thing for me going to talk to somebody. I never was against the, you know how people say shrinks, and I never was against that because I'm one that could talk. You know, I ain't got no problem saying what I got going on. I'm one that lays it all on the table no matter where I'm at. You know, inside of my job, where I work at, I let them know where I came from, what I did, why I did it, and the consequences that I suffered, and it's nobody's fault but mine. You know, so I take full accountability for everything I do. You know, and I'm not asking nobody to forgive me.
Okay.
You know, it don't even matter to me. I forgave myself, and I got the help I needed. So it's
So what's
a big deal.
important is that you realize that you're going forward, and you're no longer stuck, in what I did, past failures or any of that. You're moving forward. Yesterday is gone.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will never be mine. So we're moving forward. We're pressing forward. We don't get it right all the time. But we learn from our mistakes. And we think critically about, and we use that to propel us into tomorrow. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So my question is for you is, because I know you stated why you got in it. So to help people vote, what is your aim? Like, what draws, what crowd or age group or whatever
Right. Well,
draw close to you?
yeah. I mean, right now, I guess the major population that I have is women that have Medicaid, so they are socioeconomically disenfranchised. But that population, they actually are more receptive to counseling right now. Although I hear what you're saying, and you are my client. But males still have a hard time,
Absolutely.
accepting the need for help, especially the type of help that we're giving. The help that counselors give is one whereby you do a lot of self-reflection. You're not putting on any airs.
You
You're
make
not
them
fronting.
vulnerable.
And you make them real. And most black males,
It's uncomfortable for them.
it's very uncomfortable. They
Especially coming out of the situation.
guard it. They
Yeah.
guard it. They don't want anybody to penetrate.
Absolutely.
So my population is mainly black women, age from about 22 to about 60. I have a very active client base, whereby I don't know, I'm seeing 6, 7, 8 people a day. So and that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Do it weigh on you?
Oh, sometimes you hear
Because they always say that you never supposed to get personal with your client.
Right. But
But is it hard?
sometimes it's very difficult,
Yeah.
because you hear things that are just unreal and unimaginable.
Yeah.
And so you have to really know how to compartmentalize that. And I tell my clients, all of them, you can call me at 3 in the morning. I might not answer the phone, but my wife is not going to be like, who's that calling you?
Right.
She understands my job.
Right.
But you'll be surprised. Sometimes I might be like, oh no, I need to get that, because I'd rather them call me than to go and do something, that's going to be harmful. Right. So, yeah.
All right. So, another question I had was, who's the therapist for the therapist? How
Oh
do you
God.
deal?
Oh God. That's a very, very good question. How I got into counseling. My pastor is a psychologist, licensed professional counselor, just like myself. And really, he spoke life to me, and I just watched him. The Bible says, "Mark the perfect man," and I emulated him and everything, And so I started out as a computer guy. I was working at Geico, and I was in Geico telling everybody that I was going to go into full-time ministry, and I was going to do this and I was going to do that, but I was working at Geico, and then I got let go from Geico, so I was kind of forced, but at the same time, my pastor was starting to open up his own private practice, and so I saw it as God moving me in this direction, in that I was able to lend him my computer skills to assist him in his private practice, but then when I'm there, I'm so engaged with the clients, and so that I went back to school, and I prepared myself to be able to actually, be the counselor. So yes, the answer to that question is, my pastor, who is a therapist,
Okay.
is my therapist.
Okay. And that's
And what
always
age
good.
were you when you went back to school?
When I went back to school, that was, I guess I was maybe about 48.
Wow, I was 30, what, 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and that's the other thing. That's the other big lie. You can go back and do whatever you want to
Yeah.
do. Whenever. There's
I
no
mean,
social
it's
clock.
challenging,
There's challenges, but guess what? I found that when you go back and you want to be wherever it is
but
that
it make
you
you
are,
sharper.
you're sharper. You have more frame of reference,
And you grasp the information
and you
better.
you grasp.
Yeah,
Guess what? You don't have the same competing interests that you had when you were
yeah,
younger.
yeah.
Now you have the only thing that you're trying to do is do you to get out and get better and to become.
Yeah,
But when you're younger, you're trying to do all the other stuff.
absolutely.
You're out in partying, trying to
Distractions.
do this, all the distractions, right? So yeah. So go back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure it's
Yes,
free
sir.
too.
Say what? Make sure
Make
it's
sure
free.
it's free.
Yeah.
Make sure you can afford
Absolutely.
it.
Amen.
Hey,
Amen.
as we
The
break,
student
man,
loans ain't no joke, right?
we can't stress enough the importance of taking care of yourself and putting
Mhm.
yourself in positions of helping others or others helping you. So we ask that you please be a leading example. Please be sure to take time for yourself, reflect, look in the mirror. Take time to write down things that you value. Take time for social matters with your family, friends, loved ones. Work out, get some things done, meditate, relax. Just talk. Get just move in a healthy manner. Be productive in life. So in that manner, if you are struggling and you do need help and you do need to be reached out or you do need somebody to be on your side or to help you out, it's always an emergency mental health line, 988. And now that you see, we also provide help. The therapist is here. Dr. Moore is here. So it's always good to always have your own line. You can do confidential or you can say what it is, your name or whatever the matter is at 988.
Yes, and remember June is post-traumatic stress disorder month, gun violence awareness month, and Alzheimer and brain awareness month. So be mindful of what you eat. Be mindful of how you take care of yourself. Reach out to people so you can stop replaying all the stuff that you've been going through. Also, to piggyback on what you're saying and us having a therapist here, when you reach out to these people, man, don't get it twisted and look for them to be on your side. You literally gonna get somebody to tell you what you're saying, and they're there to evaluate what you're saying. Because a lot of times we go to these places and we want to hear that we're right. Like I said, I went to therapy wanting to be healed. A lot of times people go to therapy wanting to be pacified and wanting to be told they're right. And then you're gonna have to want to do the work. And that's a big reason why I wanted to have Dr. Moore here, but I wanted to sign up for therapy because I had got to a point in my life where everybody's not ready to tackle the things that give you post-traumatic stress disorder or that do trigger you and take you right back. And you can't pin it on other people for you to get better because one thing about your life is going to be your life and you got to live it regardless, but you can add and diminish those in it and out of it whenever you want. You got to live in your body forever. So I wanted to just explain how you do have in-person visits, right?
We have
office.
We have in-person visits, and actually, I prefer in-person visits.
Right.
When people come in person, you're able to see them, their body language. You're able to control the atmosphere. When you're on virtual, unfortunately, you have a lot of activity that you can't control, and sometimes that's all you get to see. But a lot of times people's body is actually telling you one thing, when their mouth is saying something else. So I prefer in person.
Yeah.
But yeah, we offer in person and we offer virtual.
Yes, and I've been doing virtual because we were coming off of COVID when I first was looking you up. It was COVID,
right.
But it shouldn't be an excuse. So this is for all you people who say, "Oh, I'm so busy and I can't fit it in." Man, this is it. And like Dr. Moore said, it gets to the point where now I just shoot that text, and even if I'm not gonna make it, like, man, not this week, I'm okay. Fill you in next week. We have that type of relationship where it's building to where it's more like a older, I'm not gonna say older, but a wiser statesman to guide you, to give you a little guidance and mentorship, opposed to somebody that's professionally there to just talk at you or just listen at you. And you're like, it gives me power to guide my
If I can interject for a second, I agree. You know, and I want to be the type of counselor whereby you can call me and, you know, I use the phrase join the family. You know, I want to be the type of therapist whereby you can call me and just kick it like that.
Right.
You know, and it's still professional, but you have to have the trust and the rapport whereby you're willing to talk.
Yeah, it's like a self-check.
The self-check, right.
Yeah, I still self-check all the time, and then it's always an open book.
That's right.
Once a person helps you, they always want to continue.
That's right. Yeah. I have clients that I've been seeing for 15 years now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the way. Sometimes they go away, you know, 6 months, a year, but next thing I know, I see their number. I'm like, okay, you know.
Letting you know they are.
Yeah. And being as though your clientele is mainly women, do you feel like you cope better with women? Are you there more for women? It's easier, or do you think like women, because they're more confident in getting the help? Or
I think that's the key. The thing is that they are more confident and willing to get the help.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, in our community, you know, the stigma of counseling has been pervasive. You know, but it's starting to now get better.
Yeah.
You know, but men are still lagging behind. You know, but you know, I have some brothers like you, and I got, you know, maybe I have about 3 or 4 that I see on a weekly basis. But by far, women are calling in seeking help.
Do you have any returning citizens?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Men.
Just talk to one today.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Because I also I play a role in mentoring for the district courts.
Okay.
For the Washington district. And I get all the trouble cases.
Okay.
Because I handle adversity well.
Okay.
When I came home, so I get a lot of trouble.
But
it's still not big enough. Because they don't talk. You know,
many reasons.
They're always against saying what's going on.
Yeah.
You'll get, like, out of 20, I get 2 every time. It's going to really open up and say, look, I need the help.
Exactly. So you're so right.
What's going on. Because everybody living by the, well, I can't tell.
That code.
Or, you know,
I'm so sick of that code.
About that. I ain't saying, I ain't never told them nothing. I ain't going to lie to you. I ain't never told them nothing.
Right.
Even when I did go through adversity. It's not about what you say. It's how you say it.
That's right.
Yeah, I had a gun drawn on me. Yeah, tell them who? No, that's not even important.
Right.
The fact is, if I didn't do this, then this would have happened. So you either going to help me now, or it's going to be too late. Right. What are you going to do? Because you the one that's working for me. You know, that's how it was. So it's like, a lot of dudes still live by that code. A lot of people, I'm not even going to say dudes.
People.
A lot of people still do that. And it's like.
And it starts young.
It blocks you. Yeah, it blocks you. Yeah, absolutely. It starts young. Because whatever influenced them or whatever they're surrounded by, teach them. You know, that's why we said, just like Semaj said, it's June Awareness Month for the violence. And you really have to be aware where you at.
Oh, no doubt.
Because a lot of it's sad, but like just on my mom's street, down the street, right at the end of the corner, it was a shootout. Yeah, in broad daylight, 3:00 in the afternoon, between 3 and 5. Right. Mom just walking in the house. Wow. I just got off work at 3. She got off at 4. She walked in the house. I'm in the basement. Listen, I'm listening to the TV. Right. And she said she heard 30 shots. And then you get a call, and it's a murder. 1 shot in the head, 1 shot in the chest, 1 shot in the leg. Wow. You know, and the person that shot in the leg is just walking down the street. Wow. So it's like you got to be aware when you at. You know, it's real important. And it's sad because all of them was under 21. It's a big shootout between kids.
Kids,
You know, so
black kids.
it's absolutely.
We're killing ourselves.
And adults are, I mean, the adults are still kids, man.
Mhm.
Therapy is not going to help you until you start helping yourself. It's like, therapy is, to me, this is my opinion, but therapy is on the healing chart, bro. Therapy is not going to heal you. Therapy is not going to make you a better person.
No, it's
just
not.
in its entirety. You're not going to walk in therapy and forget everything. Number two, like, therapists ain't got nothing to do with the streets. Even if all your stories are street stories, your therapist is not a police officer. It don't have nothing to do with this is about everything you've been through. So you can release it and you can get it out. But what I don't like is how us men, another big reason why I feel like we don't go is because we hold on to our stuff to use it for justification. Because just like, I'll use Ja Morant, right? When a day is a beautiful day and you playing basketball and you got the girls or you get your check, everything's fine. Wasn't no mental help. You ain't need no therapist.
Right.
Yeah.
But what happened?
No, as soon as you get in trouble, you need a therapist. That's what we got to stop. Again, you have to start healing yourself. As simple as waking up every day and saying, I'm not doing what I did yesterday. Then you'll get to therapy because, like, women are different. They're emotional. They love to talk. Some women are in there and then we miss the application part. So, yeah, you could be in therapy for 8-9 years, bro. But the one thing I love about our relationship is, like, I told you everything that I said I was going to do and work towards it. So it's written down. That's what we have to do. Don't try to get it all in one session. But tell him, because he writing it down, or tell your therapist. And then they're going to check you.
And I'm going to remind you.
Yeah, and then they're going to check you like, yo, you said you was going to do this and you was going to do that.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
So. And that's the thing, is always what you said.
Yeah.
All they doing is listening.
Yeah.
You know, and when you do something that's contrary to what you said that you wanted, then do you really want it? Is that something that you really want?
Right. And I think that helps. A professional will help relationships better. Because I ran into a lot of issues with that, with holding people accountable, being held accountable. It's a trigger in a relationship when you remind somebody and they got something else on their mind and they want to go somewhere and you say, yo, but if a professional does it, it seems like it's just like because they don't know the professional and they want to respect it, that they'll take it and they'll receive it more. So those type of things are things that I pray, you know, that people take away from it, because I'll take away from it. And I always go in not to bash, you know, go in with taking the blame, even if it's not your fault, so-called in life. But we don't live in there's a judge right here and I want to hear your story and I want to hear your story every day. We live in reality, and most times reality don't care. The universe don't care about if it's a hard task on your hands or if you got into an argument. You have to be in control of feeding into it and giving it back that energy. So one of the great things I love about the advice that you have given me over time is just like when there's a family event and you know how much I care about my family and stuff, but I'm plant-based and I don't drink and I don't do. You always say, man, go on time or early.
That's right.
So you can show face. You say you were there, but before the melee starts, before it gets too deep into the drinking and all that, and before my feelings can be altered and I can feel away, get up out of there. And that's one of the greatest things, because I'm still showing you I love you. I'm still showing you that I support whatever y'all got going on at the moment. But it's that 6 hours and 3 hours and 4 hours. The time linger. I should have been gone anyway because I have things going on in my own life.
And at the end of the day, if something were to go awry, you're going to say, oh, man, I should have left.
Yep. Yep. So that's one of the big things that helps me maneuver. But we have to do better. That's how you learn to apply, is by keeping yourself from getting triggered. And then when you are in the thick of things and you're triggered, I mean, that's going to be the way you know if it's really working, because your behavior should change and how you respond to certain things. And it's not perfect, you know. Some days I just absolutely have to have it on that Friday because I've been through certain things and I kind of slipped. It was like, dang, I let it get to me, man. So I need this to get it out. But then there's some weeks, man, where I feel good about, man, I'll catch you next week. I'm going to fill you in on how good this week went and how I handle certain things. But then I want to tell you about the things that I'm looking forward to and where I'm going. So, again, man, it's just big to know, like, it being PTSD month and gun violence month and Alzheimer's and brain awareness. All this has to do with your control, your self-control, the way you eat, the way it's tied in. And if you can't suppress and control what you put in your mouth, you're not going to be able to suppress that attitude, that emotion, just grabbing that gun. You know, that's what most times why it is the 21-year-olds and all that, like you were just saying, 30 shots ring up at 3 p.m. because there's nobody to control themselves or nobody when they're upset. They're not going to listen. If somebody say, man, chill, yo, put the gun down. Go, just leave, walk around the corner. Nobody going to do that. You know what I mean? Most times they just already shooting. They'll probably shoot the person. There's so many people that get shot trying to break it up. You know what I mean? So
true.
we definitely want to just get your take on how important it is with the PTSD, gun violence, and it being Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, how important it is to get therapy or counseling or have a counsel, period.
Yeah, I mean, when we have these months, they're just a reminder, you know, that help is out there, you know, that you don't have to be suffering with mistakes or trauma from the past, you know, that keeps cropping up in your today, you know, that you can reach out to somebody like myself or any other agency for help, you know. So whenever you see something like Alzheimer's Awareness Month, you know, we're supposed to treat it like a stop sign and not a speed bump. You know, we should really take a notice of what time it is and really, you know, understand that there are people that are suffering with these disorders and these diseases, you know, and there's support groups out there. And that's one thing that I think needs to be mentioned. You know, a lot of times there are support groups with people who have gone through whatever it is that you're going through, and you can get a lot of information from like an Alzheimer's support group, you know, whereby you'll know how to move. You know, they've gone through it, so they're able to assist you and tell you and give you valuable information, you know, because a lot of times you're struggling with something that somebody has already accomplished. They already know what to do. They could give you the roadmap. Do this, do that. You know, so that's what that's what support groups are about. Alzheimer's, post-traumatic stress disorder, learning your triggers, those things are important for now. Trauma is real. You know, trauma is real.
So definitely want to thank you for being here, taking time out of your day, man, and want to be able to just give people your information on how they can reach you,
Right.
How they can get information on how their insurance can cover it, because that's another thing, and then to piggyback on support groups. If you go on Facebook, I know I rode with St. Jude, and I rode for Alzheimer already, but even if you don't have these things, those are ways that you can contribute and donate money, and you could donate miles, or you could donate workouts too, like Alzheimer's and post-traumatic stress disorder and a lot of these causes, just so you can give those people who have it some extra support, because it goes a long way. So if you can, bless the people with your information,
Right.
my brother.
My agency is called LH Psychological Counseling Educational Services, Inc. Telephone number is 202-506-3575. Again, 202-506-3575. Just reach out. We're here. Counselors always do pro bono stuff, so when it comes to insurance, oftentimes we might overlook it just to give you the help that you need, but that's the way it works.
Yes, so that's definitely appreciated, and act upon it. If you don't reach out to Dr. Moore, man, just go on Google, man. We use it for everything else. Give some people a try, man. Take a consultation, and that's the great thing about therapy. You don't just jump out when you feel better, and you got the right to switch therapists and keep trying it and keep trying it until it fits for you. Because it's the same thing with meditation and things like that.
And medication.
Yeah, and medication. It all is about what's the best route for you.
Exactly.
So that's why we at the Garden, we talk about working out, we talk about getting into therapy, counsel groups, getting with your family, even if it's your immediate family, like Sundays, just getting back to cooking dinner.
Eating right.
Yeah, doing that. And I wanted to also shout out the young lady I rode past at Farmer Market, and we still bless people with information. So The Congressional Federal Credit Union, Kristen Overstreet is the SEG Relationships Manager. They're located at, well, they're on Capitol Hill, excuse me, but their number is 703-261-2841. And it's a credit union, so they have great rates. I don't want to give all the information, but just give them a try. I told her I would pass on that information. And
It's raining.
we got the rain. We got the
Amen.
rain at the
Yes.
end of the show. We got the rain we're looking for the garden. So
That's
this is
right.
the Leaders Only digital show and podcast. Live stream every Sunday, 2:30. From, we call it the Garden of the Gods, but it's Jelani Graham Garden. And today is the third Friday of the month. So remember, first and third Fridays here at 4915 St. Barnabas Road, Temple Hills. We giving out food. Jump in line. There is no serious information that needs to be given out. They have more than enough. They have plant-based options. They have healthy options, and then yes, they still have meat and snacks. But definitely don't be too proud, man. It's no longer begging, and that's what we have to get. Forget all stereotypes and all people thinking, man. We need to help one another. It's that time, yo. We live in that era where everybody need help. So definitely feel free to come out occasionally to the location. Just give us a heads up. Email us at leadersonly22@gmail. We love to hear from you. It's been a blessing. I'm Semaj.
I'm Kendell. Hold on, before we close out, we're
I
gonna
got
get this
you, man.
signing.
I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
take care of that.
Go get this book signing right
Yeah,
here.
that's
Get that
right.
scripture on there.
Yes, and we
Get that scripture on there.
we're brought to you by Tone Drone and what a change
Change
mentoring.
Inc. I'm also I got my business card. You know, I'm a master and certified fitness trainer. Number and everything up there. You can reach out. Yes, sir. We got that scripture going. Big payback. That's what we signing right here.
That's
Semaj,
right.
author Semaj Callaham. Also, you know, El Capitan. Got the herbs, leader aid, cleaning service. Everything going on right here. Plant-based stuff right there. Don't forget the food.
Don't forget mentalhealthchef.com. Everything he just said, you can get up there. Clothes, book, herbs, everything.
Everything. Fitness, cleaning, comfort, service.
And a big shout out to Green Run High School.
Yes, sir.
We just had a great meeting on Wednesday, closing the year out, but the season starts in a month and a half.
Yes, sir.
And we officially are mental health staff. We're on the staff.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be looking forward to build with them. So
Yes, sir. Yes,
looking
sir.
forward for that.
They're doing great
Yes,
things.
sir.
Great things.
Blessings. What up, blessing? Peace, love, blessings. We're closing. Y'all be blessed. This is season 3, episode 7. Make sure you follow, subscribe, click the bell, like, comment, pound, replay if you missed the live stream. Out.
My man.